UFC 314 is this weekend, and in the main event, we have an insane matchup happening. Alex Volkanovski is back, but he is facing a young, hungry, dangerous opponent, Diego Lopes. Alex Volkanovski has been one of the most dominant UFC featherweight champions in history, but his recent performances suggest that his time at the top may be coming to an end. With his knockout losses against Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria, this may be the end for Alex Volkanovski. Not many people get flatline knocked out, even great fighters like Alex Volkanovski, and can come back and win another fight or look dominant or be a champion again. There's never been a fighter in UFC history to ever win the belt at 35 years and older in the lightweight division down. Not a single fighter. But if anyone can do it, it is Alex Volkanovski. But I think this is the end. Volkanovski has taken significant damage in recent fights, like his flatline knockout loss to Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. At 36 years old, recovery time slows down, and those wars start to catch up to you. You're just not the same fighter anymore. Yes, Volkanovski has great striking, his grappling is really good, but his chin isn't there anymore. When the power and pressure starts to come at you, you can't do much about it. And Diego Lopes is a great fighter. Diego Lopes is young, fast, and has dynamic submission game. We saw Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. Volkanovski has pretty good submission game. But Diego Lopes also has power and pressure, and he likes to fight you with his head down and likes to start coming at you in rounds 2, 3, and even 4. He will start to hit you hard. And can Volkanovski get him off of him? Can Volkanovski play the distance game? Can he play him at range? Can he use the kickboxing? Can he use the defensive grappling and get Diego Lopes off of him? But I don't think that matters. I think this fight hinges on aggression and power. Diego Lopes' aggression and unpredictability could spell trouble for an aging Volkanovski. If Lopes can catch Volkanovski in exchange or take an advantage of a slowed reaction time, it could lead to an early finish. Now, I'm not saying Volkanovski will get knocked out again in the second round or third round, but it is more likely for that to happen than for Volkanovski to edge out a win. That's just the reality. MMA history has shown that once a champion starts losing, especially by a knockout or a flatline knockout, their decline can be rapid. Fighters like Jose Aldo, Tyron Woodley, Israel Adesanya went from dominant champions to struggling against a rising contender in a short span. Volkanovski might be at that tipping point. If Volkanovski loses this fight, especially in a decisive fashion, it could mark the end of his title aspirations. Whether he chooses to retire or simply move into a veteran role, his days as a dominant force may be numbered. Diego Lopes, on the other hand, could use this fight as a breakout moment, ushering in a new era in the featherweight division. Diego Lopes already has great wins over Sodiq Yusuff, Brian Ortega, Dan Ige. Diego Lopes has shown that he can be the one. Volkanovski does have strengths though, like fighting IQ, experience, stamina, conditioning, wrestling, and pressure. Volkanovski is known for his ability to adapt mid-fight, like the Max Holloway fights, like the first, second, and third fight, where each round he's adapting and changing and mixing up stuff, confusing Max Holloway and beating him. That is still there. The knowledge is still there. Making adjustments to overcome his opponents is still there. His striking game is crisp. He is able to avoid significant damage while scoring points. He can do that. But can he do that long enough without Lopes catching him? Volkanovski also has excellent cardio, which has allowed him to control the pace of his fights. But is the reaction time and the chin still there to do that long enough? Volkanovski, he might not have to rely on his striking because his grappling is still there. While Volkanovski's striking is the highlight of his game and he's able to put people away, his ability to pressure his opponents and utilize solid wrestling when necessary makes him a well-rounded fighter like the Yair Rodriguez fight. like in the third round where he's pushing Yair back and he can take him down with ease. But Diego Lopes, his strengths might be a little bit better, like his jiu-jitsu, his aggression and power, and his youth and speed. Lopes has a dangerous submission game, and if Volkanovski gets careless or makes a mistake, that could be the end for him. We might not even have to worry about the knockout because that is how deadly Diego Lopes is. But if Islam Makhachev or Ilia Topuria or Brian Ortega can't submit Alex Volkanovski, I don't think Diego Lopes will. However, Diego Lopes is young, hungry, and he has power. Lopes isn't afraid to come forward and take risk, which could catch up to Volkanovski. His striking can be unpredictable, and he can end the fight in an instant with the right shot. Like the Brian Ortega fight where Lopes drops Brian Ortega, he knocks him out and then hits him again to wake him up. That can happen, but Volkanovski might not wake up if he gets hit again. Lopes is younger and might have quicker reflexes, which could give him an advantage if the fight turns into a high-paced brawl. And that is what I think will happen. I think if this fight turns into a brawl, which it will, I think Diego Lopes likes to set the pace. He likes to put his foot forward. He wants to be the aggressive one. And I don't think the days of Volkanovski being the hammer are there anymore. And I just hate to be that guy. I would love to see Alex Volkanovski win the fight, but I don't think he has the aggression or power to put Diego Lopes on his back foot. I don't think it's there. I think the youth and speed of Diego Lopes will beat Volkanovski. Volkanovski is a high-volume fighter. He lands 6.16 significant strikes per minute and only absorbs 3.44. That is really good. He's able to push people and put them on his back foot. But his problem is, in his recent fights, when he's been clipped, his chin just goes. And that is the reality. He is 36 years old, about to be 37. And Diego Lopes is 30 years old, and he could do it. Diego Lopes is also a high-pace fighter, and he has a high output of strikes, landing 4.20 strikes per minute, but he absorbs 4.11, which just shows Diego Lopes is willing to get hit to land a shot. He's willing to take a shot to give a shot. And that is why I think I'm edging on Diego Lopes winning this fight by knockout in the third round. I think in the first two rounds, Volkanovski will last long enough to not get hit. But I think once that third round happens and Diego Lopes knows he's losing, he's going to march forward, put Volkanovski on his back foot, his chin's going to be up in the air, and Diego Lopes will land a beautiful right hand with a left hook behind it. And I think that's the end for Alex Volkanovski. Be sure to like, comment who you think will win this fight, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching.